All right, it looks like we're working. Oops. Trying to get this chat popped out here for myself. Hope everybody's doing good. Let me know where you're from, and we'll get started in just a second. All right, looks like we got a good connection. Jerome, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ma'am, Oscar, Pete, Fonty, good to see you guys. All righty, dighty. Let's go out to the weekly. All right, so looking at the weekly here, we've been talking about this for a very long time, okay? What we don't know right now is, are we going to go higher in this rally, okay? Are we going to put a partner leg to this one and get up higher, okay? Now, we can clearly see in the RSI that we've had another rejection in the bullish resistance zone. You can call it whatever you want, bearish resistance, or, well, actually it's bullish resistance zone, okay? So when we're in a bear market and we rally, we're going to bonk our heads on the 70 mark, okay? You can see that that was the clue here when the weekly bonked its head in 70 and we ended up with this divergence here. Okay, the turn at 70 was the clue that this was the tippy top. Okay, because the weekly, when it's trending bullishly, goes way above 70 here. Goes above 70, goes above 70. All this back here is bullish runs. Okay, so when it bonks its head at 70, it's telling you this run's over, pretty much. So, can we go higher? Yes, we can. Okay, I would have liked to have seen the weekly time frame push through 70. It would have been a better signal of transitioning, but we can still go higher by the weekly time frame holding 50 to 40. Okay, that's bullish support. Okay, so back here, it held, and then we got this additional push to the upside. Okay, so we can do it here. The weekly needs to hold the bullish zone and then give us a leg. We'll get that divergence again when it bonks its head in 70. Okay, something like this. Or I did that wrong, I'm sorry. So it'll be a little lower, maybe something like this. Okay, and this would be upwards. So we don't know right now if we're going higher. We're hoping we are, for sure, because the higher the B wave, the better. That's the saying. Because when this leg comes over here, we want this to be higher so that we get this sideways correction, okay? If this is done and this is all the rally that we're going to get, then, and this leg is coming now, it means that Bitcoin is going to go much deeper, okay? It's just the way it is, all right? Let's go down to the daily and, well, let's go up a little bit. Okay. Let's talk about if we go higher. All right. So we have this yellow trend line that is got 2 pivots on it. We also have support coming in at this green box. Okay. The big question is it going to hold trend line? Or maybe it's going to wick through it and then bounce. Okay, we don't know. But worst case scenario, as deep as we want to see this come, would be to the 618 retracement and filling this gap right here. That is as deep as we want to see this potential B wave come down. Now, and then we want, obviously, to get a ripping C wave to the upside to get us back up to this area, okay? This was the last area where buying went on before it broke to the downside. So this is the area that we want to really see Bitcoin back test. We really want to see this leg to the upside. Now, and as deep as we want to see it come is the 618, because coming up underneath this support, really this right here, okay? Getting underneath that is just going to be bearish. It's going to turn the whole sentiment of the market bearish, and it will just be flat out bearish, okay? So we don't want to get that deep. Now there is a chance, okay, possible, until it just gets to the point that it's not probable, okay? What would make it not probable? Well, this going too far in time, okay? Wave 2s, if we're looking at this to be a wave 2, shouldn't take more than time and a half of this wave 1 to form. When that starts happening, it's cluing you in. So say that this just, you know, we make a leg here, okay? It bounces. We make another leg. We'll still accept that for a wave 2, but then say that we get a rally and then it bounces again like this, something like that. Guys, that's too long in time. Okay. We'll get to the point where we're just like, this can't be a wave 2 anymore. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We need, we really need it to end at the 2. Worst case, 2.618. Actually, honestly, that's too far. So it's the 2. Okay. I thought that was going to be a little closer there. Really put it out there. So the 2 is the farthest that I will like to see it be, to still be a wave 2. Okay. Also, we don't want it to come deeper than the 618. If it does, say that it does, okay? Say that it does come a little deeper, and it comes through here. We want to see it leave a wick and have a complete buy up, back up to this support. We don't want to see any candle closes down here. We want to get out of there as quick as possible. Okay. And if this is going to give us a C wave, it's not going to play around, because C waves are impulsive. Okay. It's going to give us that wave 1, that wave 2, and then we're going to get a ripping 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay. It's going to look like this wave over here. What else? So this is projecting that we're going to hold the 618 and give a C wave. We've got the 1-to-1 coming in at 40,700. Okay. It can totally get up to higher levels. It could even go as high as the 1.618 at 62,613. It can go that high. Okay. Depending, it could even, if it wanted to, give us an expanded B. And this is dreaming big, I know. Give us a C wave that goes up and breaks the all-time high and gives us a expanded B, and then gives us a truncated C wave. That would be extremely, extremely bullish for Bitcoin if it did this. Is it a possibility? Well, everything's a possibility. We just don't know, right? But the main thing is we need to put a connector here. This connector needs to happen, or this is done. This was either it's a zigzag, ABC like this, or it was a flat, ABC like this, if this is done. And this wave structure back here was complex, okay? It was all threes. So starting out choppy the way that we are, in what looks like a WXY, would be just fine to start out one of this leg here. Okay, but we're going to talk a little bit about the DXY here in a second, and why I think there's a good chance that we're going to rally higher. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about that now before we dig into this little section right here. Okay, all right, so the DXY, let me see if I'm on the right one. I am. Let me get all this off of here. So this is the overall count for the DXY. Those of you that have watched my videos or that are in my Discord, say, you know what the count is for the DXY. Now, I have been digging into this DXY forever, trying to come up with another count, where this leg here would be the end of something. To be the end of something, it has to be a C wave, or it has to be a fifth wave. That's the only two things it could be. So with that said, I have to figure out how that's possible. Well, we cannot say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an invalidation that 4 came into 1. No go. To say that we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can tell you right now, 4s don't come into their A wave. They don't do that. It's an invalidation. So with that all being said, I cannot come up with another count. Maybe there's one out there. Okay. But as it stands right now, this is the count, and I think this C leg will come. The big question is B done? I don't think so. I don't think B is done. I think that B is going to be, I think that this move off the top here is a 5-wave move. And that this connector here is trying to get to the 0.5618. What will that do for Bitcoin? It'll let it finish this correction here. And then when this 5-wave move gets its partner is when Bitcoin will put our other leg over here. And then, unfortunately, here comes C wave. Okay, this whole rally here was this whole dump. So when this C leg comes, well, we know it's coming. This is getting a partner. Okay. If I'm correct, of course. The only thing that could vary is that this up here and the top up here was a 1-2-1-2. And that this rally here we have, because it hasn't broken fourth wave territory, is actually an additional fourth wave, and this needs to roll over for an additional fifth to end off this A wave, then rally for B wave, then come down for C for the B. Okay, that's the only variation that could happen. So what would happen to Bitcoin? It would probably take longer in time over here to make this correction. Okay. So which one it is, I don't know. But if it breaks this area right here, and then it's highly probable it's coming up for the retracement. It'll go for this golden zone here, and then we'll get the partner leg. So the whole key, watch the DXY to break this fourth wave territory. It needs to break it. Okay? So that we can confirm that this leg is done. Let me see the chat real quick here. Any questions? All right. Let's look at this little leg here, and then we'll get to the requests. All right. So let's talk about bull scenario first, then we'll talk about bear. Bull scenario is that this is a three-wave move right here in yellow. The white box is the connector, and that we need yellow partner leg. And it's going to be what? WXY 333. We need this leg to be close in time. So we're looking at the same amount of time being the 1, and that would be June 26-ish, okay? That we would be looking for this to end. Now, once it puts this leg in, it is going to have a chance to rally. This is where this will be a complete WXY, and it will be able to go bullish. Now, at this point, it'll either go bullish, or what will it do? It will put in an additional connecting wave. If it puts in an additional connecting wave, we'll make it blue. Let's make it different color. Let's make it red, pink, whatever. Then what happens? We have to give this whole yellow leg a partner to the downside. Okay. Depending on how high this connector comes, if it can hit the 618, it's possible that we could get a sharp C wave to the downside. If it doesn't hit the 618 and it's little underneath the 618, then it will be a 3-wave move down. So that is what's happening, okay? Right here, when it finishes yellow, it will have a chance to go bullish. But if it puts in a connecting, correcting leg, then we're giving this a partner and we're getting a bigger correction. All right, any questions about that before we go to the alt request? Just checking my connection, make sure it's still good. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Looks like we've got a stock, which is the first one. Let me see what chart I want to use. Yeah, let's use this one. MVIS. All right. So it's been in this downtrend here. V-shape recovery. It got over the first area and the second that you would want to see it get over. Okay. That looks really good. Looks really nice that it could be an impulse wave here. All right, so you really want to see it hold above this consolidation here where the 618 is. Don't want to get back up underneath that. The bullish option is that it's done coming to the downside and that this wave here is the start of something. The bearish option is that this is a flat and that this wave is a C. It could be in a fourth wave and then it would need a fifth wave up. I'll look closer here in a second, but the higher this goes, if it's a C, the better. So when it gets this one's partner, it will hold this 618. Okay. Let me get a little closer and see if I can tell. What it's doing. All right, to me, it looks like it's in a fourth wave, the way that it's holding. Okay, if this was done, it would have a sharper rejection. So getting a fifth wave to the upside would be very good. It cannot come under this area right here. It's got an extended fifth wave in it. Has to stay above this to get this move to the upside. And then you want this to not have where you're going to pull your fib extension to wherever this ends, okay? You don't want to see you don't want to see a sharp rejection. You don't want to see something that takes this fifth wave out like this and then back tests the fourth. You don't want to see that. You want to see something that comes down, something like this, okay, after it finishes. If this is going to be the start of something, this is what you need to see. You don't want to see this melt off like this and then back test. That's going to tell you that more than likely this was a C. Okay. Yeah. So it's very hard to tell right now if that's the start of something or not. But the clue will be how it corrects after. But this definitely is. So this is either a wave one or it's an A wave. It should get a partner to the upside. Worst case scenario. Or it goes completely bullish. Bit trick. Oh, XVG. There we go. All right. Let me check another exchange real quick here. I'll go back to that one. Okay. All right. So this looks beautiful. Okay. We're going to treat this as a 1. This is coming down for a 2 here. This is a B wave here. So A, B, it could even be WXY. It doesn't really matter which one it is. All right, we're not getting any really good overlap with these extensions, which isn't that big a deal, okay? Let's take a look at this leg here. Looks very complex. WXYE. All right. So you can clearly see that if it loses this current area that it's in, that underneath it is insufficiency down to this area. Okay. So is that going to be okay for wave 2? Yes. Okay. It would not invalidate itself till it took these lows out right here. So if it doesn't hold, it's obviously what's going to happen. It's going to drop through here. Okay. And then obviously we would want it to hold this area. And I think that there would be a very good chance that it would. Okay. Because this looks like 3, 3, and then some type of 3. So WXY. And these extensions here are the deepest a WXY can come. So there's no reason it wouldn't hold. Let me get it in a little closer and look at this right here. All right, so if it's going to hold, what you need it to do is take this section right here out. You want to see V-shaped recovery and this reclaimed. Until it reclaims this area, it's not bullish. It has to hold and get back above and get on top of this support or just rip right through it. Okay? If it's coming deeper and it's not going to hold, you're going to be looking for the same exact thing wherever it bottoms. So say that it comes down, makes a little correction, comes down, correction, comes down. This is the one that you want to see that be reclaimed. Okay? I can't say whether it's coming deeper or not. But this reclaim V-shaped recovery is what you want to see at whatever low it decides to make. And until it does that, you can't say that it's turning. Okay. FTM. All right, so FTM got this line in the sand here. Can clearly see if it loses it, it's going to drop to here. Okay. This in the middle here is a rally. All right. If it's going to go higher, it has to put a connector here. And then give this a partner to the upside. So when this leg comes, just maybe it can stay up here. This here does not look like 5 waves to me. It's missing a 4th and a 5th wave. This wave right here pulling back should have held deepest where it came down and then pushed up for a 5th. Really, it should have held here and pushed up for a 5th. I do not see that as a wave 1. I see it as a C wave. Now, it can. This looks pretty good. That this is 3. 3. Now it's making 5. Has a good chance that this is ABC and it's putting in a connector, okay, even if it decides to roll over again, and that this leg here or this whole entire structure, like Bitcoin, will get a partner to the upside. This really looks like a flat to me. It needs to get up and over that section right there. Keep going, flip it to support. If it rolls over, you're looking for the exact same thing for it to flip it to support. Okay? There's a good chance it's making a connector because of the way it came off the top in 3 and then 3. Now, these can fail. Okay? When you get a flat at the top of a move like this, how they fail is that whether it rolls over or not, it puts a connector. Then this leg gets a partner, and then that's your first leg of giving this one a partner. Okay? It'll back test this, and then give a leg, and then there's its partner. So we want this to be the connector. V-shaped recovery, and then out of here. I hope that makes sense. ZIL. All right, so ZIL is a shame. I will say that 100%. All of the alts have this leg. Majority of them, okay? Like Gala here, that I've been looking at forever. Okay, this leg to the upside. That we really wanted it to give a partner for. Big ripping C wave, okay? Now, I said in the live streams that we wanted it to hold here. Worst case scenario, we wanted it to hold this. Well, it's invalidated this being a 5-wave move start of something. because it has taken its low. It's tapped it. So when it did that, it's saying that this 5-wave move now on all these alts have to be a C wave. And I talked about also that this being A, this being B because it looked so 5-wavy, and this being C just looked ridiculous. And it still looks ridiculous. So, but that's what it has to be because it's invalidated this being an A wave. Okay, this can't be 5 waves, pull back for 3, and then 5 more because it's tapped the low. That's the invalidation point. So the only other thing here on ZIL is we've got this diagonal here that hit the 618, which is minimum requirement. And it could be that the rally was like this. Okay. I'll get to it, tropical. That'll be next. So with that said, this could be the rally. And it means that this is the only hope that they have left, okay? Is that either one, okay? Either this was 3 like this, or it was 3 like this. We're hoping that this will be 3, and then we'll get this type of move. But this is a bearish connector. It is. It's bearish. So unfortunately, these alts have failed to do what I was hoping they would do. Okay. So right now, I'll look at this bottom one in a second, but it looks like it wants to roll over, sweep this again, and hopefully it will V-shape recovery and then give us this. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So ZIL, what you want to see is if it rolls over, V-shape recovery, reclaim this area. Then you want to see separation. Go right through here, get above it, give you a 4th and a 5th, and then get out. Okay. If that's the bullish option. The bearish option is that this was the connector, and this is already the start of giving this trend back here its partner. Now, this is not all the data probably, but same as Bitcoin, this is going to continue. Okay. That's the bearish option. Very disappointing, for sure. All right, I forgot to check something for this person. All right, so this looks good, obviously. All right, so this could be in a 4th wave, but I don't think so. I think that this should be 1 and 2, okay? But it's missing. Yeah, okay, so this is the area that it cannot break. If this is going to be a 4th wave, but I'm more thinking that it's a wave 2, okay? because, and we'll take a look at this here, because it's already, if this fails, meaning that if this doesn't fail to go completely bullish, then this is going to be a connector, and this leg is going to get its partner, and it's going to break that and come into this area, which is an invalidation for a fourth. Okay, so I'm more leaning that it's a 2, and you really want it to be a 2, because if it's a fourth, you're just getting one wave to the upside, and then you have to correct all of this. If it's a 2, then mega bull. It's going mega bullish, okay? It will make this look like nothing. All right. Stop. Sorry about those dogs barking. I'm looking at this wave to see if it's the start of something. All right. I don't think so. And the reason is we would have to call it a diagonal because of this overlap here. It's not a very pretty one, okay, to begin with. And then this section here is getting too long in time because this right here is a connector for this wave. Okay, it's getting too long in time to be a 2. It's more than likely it's going to be a B. And then this leg here will get a partner. The higher this partner can get, the better. This is the bullish option, is that this leg is going to get a partner. The bearish option is that this is all the rally it's going to give us, and that this wave is already the start of this one's partner. But I think that it's probably likely. Hold on one second. Stop it. Stop. Okay. Let's check time. All right. It has met minimum time. Wait a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I don't. So with time, sorry, those dogs got me all flustered. So this can't be all the rally we're going to get for this leg because it did not meet minimum time requirement. It needs to do this and then this. Something. This leg needs a partner. Okay? Then this leg would come. And the higher this gets, the better. So right now, we have this move to the upside. We've got 3 to the downside. And because this is corrective, this could be the start of the move to the upside. But it's going to be corrective. If you're going to get a C wave to the upside, okay, this needs to come down and reset itself to the downside. It needs to hit the lows again so that it can reset to give you the C wave to the upside. It cannot do it from here. It has to roll over. Okay. Otherwise, it's just going to climb correctively to give this leg its partner. Just WXY it all the way up. I would rather see it roll over and then give that C wave. Obviously, right? So hopefully it will roll over so that it can reset itself. All right, let me go back to see where the heck I missed that one at. I don't know. So I did ZIL. DYDX. All right. So if I have all the data and this has broken its low, we cannot say that this is a 1 and a 2, obviously. Now, if there's more data over here that's, you know, lower, then this was a 1 and we're coming down for a 2. But I don't know. But that doesn't mean that it can't go on a bull run, okay? It can. Right now, this is missing. So this leg here, probably some people are calling a wave 1, okay? But you can clearly see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our third wave. You have to have 5 waves in your third wave. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Where's our 4 and our 5? It should have fanned out for a 4 right here and then pushed up for a 5th wave, and it didn't do it. So I do not see this wave right here as an impulse wave. But it can go higher, just like the other alt that I guess it was ZIL, maybe. I don't know which one. By putting a connector here. Right now, we have 3 off the top, 3, and maybe 3 or 5. It doesn't matter. We want this to be a connecting wave. We do not want it to take out this area right here. Even if it wants to make itself bigger and put a connector and then give this leg a partner, we want it to stay up here. Coming underneath there would be bearish. Hopefully this is the end of it. And if this is going to roll over, this is a little 4th and a little 5th. And then it V-shape recoveries back up, makes this support, rips through here, 4th, 5th. That's what we want to see. What will it be? It will be 3, 3, and then 5. That's the bullish option. Is that it makes a big flat here, gets itself up high, so when this leg comes, it may not be so terrible. But there's no way. And then the bearish option is that this was all the rally it was going to give, and that this 3-wave move here is the start of this one's partner. So 4th, 5th, 1, 2, we need to rip out of here. Otherwise, it's probably going to be bearish. And it really is going to all depend on what Bitcoin does, because the alts are going to follow. So if Bitcoin is going to put a connector here, then these alts are going to put a connector here and give these legs a partner. Bitcoin, give it that leg a partner. Okay? It's going to follow Bitcoin. All right. So obviously we're calling this a 1 and a 2. This looks bad. The bear flag. Okay. We've got a 3-wave move off the top. So bear option is that this is an X wave and it's already rolling over to give the Y wave partner. That's bear. Okay. Bull is that it's going to try to make a flat here. Okay, where we've got the 3, 3, and it's going to put a ripping C wave here. And it's going to be 90 degrees. Back in the day, some of you have already seen this, Bitcoin did it. Right here. Everybody was extremely bearish. Okay, we had 3 waves. We had connector. And then we got this wave to the downside that was this one's partner. Then we put in another connector. So this leg had to get a partner. Okay, and then we had this bear flag. It came down, swept these lows, and made an A, B, got everyone short, and then what did it do? 90-degree angle C. Can happen here. It can. Now, when will it not happen? When it takes out the 1.618 at $3.65. It hits that extension. This is no longer going to be a B and then give us that 90-degree C once this extension's touched. These are the extensions of expanded Bs. Okay? Pulling from high to low right in here. You could put that on your chart. Okay? So right now, it looks to me like it's stalled here. If this is going to be a 4th wave, it's going to fan out here for a 4th and roll over for a 5th. This is when it's going to do it. Fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And it's going to be fast. Right now, this looks corrective. It's got 3 in the middle here. Got 3 up. This is giving itself a partner. It's pretty much as high as it can go. Okay, it looks like it's just about done. And then it's going to roll over. It could truck sideways more. All right. But it's screaming, I'm going to roll over. Okay. And that's when you're going to look. Maybe it'll do something like this. I don't know. But when it rolls over, you want to see this reclaimed and then out of here. And it will be fast if it's going to do it. And ETH is the same exact thing as Bitcoin. Okay. Here's its trend line. Need to adjust it a little bit. If trend line's going to hold, we would need to hold the 618. It's got this gap here. Breaking the trend line isn't that big a deal. Where we want ETH to hold is right where this gap is. We don't want it coming up underneath there. Okay. Now, when it finishes off, it's 3, connector, 3. This is when it'll have a chance, whether it comes to the 1-to-1 or not and fills this gap. We want this section this support reclaimed. We want to get up and out of here and reclaim this area. Okay, if ETH can do that, that's bullish. If it comes to the 1-to-1 and then bonks its head, then what's going to happen? We're putting in a connecting wave that is going to give this wave a partner and come deeper. Absolute extreme, guys, that we want to see ETH come is in this section here. This cannot be broken. If it's broken, we're bearish. So when it finishes this leg, 618, 1-to-1, it'll have a chance to go. We're going to have to wait and see if it makes a connector. Same exact thing as Bitcoin. They do have, and I forgot to mention this, daily divergence right now, where this is coming downwards and this is upwards. We want to hold on to that. We don't want to see RSI come down and wipe that out. So when this rolls down, we want to see the daily hold this upwards motion. Okay, that's good. A daily divergence will at least give us a connector, a decent one. Okay. What was the other one? Oh, ETH. All right. See this wave here? All of that overlapping waves, okay? The only way that's going to be the start of something is if it's a diagonal and it's not pretty. Like you'd have to do something like this, okay? And it's getting so close to invalidating this being the start of something. All right, so with that said, if this is the start of something, we want this leg to be the start of something. Because if this is a connector, again, like these back here, then the next rollover is going to take this low and invalidate this wave being the start of something. So the bullish option is that this little leg's the start of something, and I'm going to look at it here in a second, and that this is going to go, in worst case, give this one just a partner of a C wave. Most best case is it turns this whole bearish downtrend into a bull run. Okay. Okay, so if this leg here is going to be the start of something, we are going to have to say that this here is a 1-2, 1-2 because we have this overlap. So invalidation right now is this low. Coming underneath that low, no longer a 1-2, 1-2, and really coming underneath this low will even give you a sooner probability because if this is going to be a 1 2 1 2, it's already back tested the top of the previous one. So this, if this is going to roll over, it needs to make a higher low. And then next, separation. Okay, there's no more playing around or no more overlapping waves. It should not break this low. This low is complete invalidation. If it's going to pull back, again, it needs to make a higher low and then rip out of here. It needs to go for its third wave now. Okay. If it doesn't, then the bearish option is that this is just a connector. And it's going to roll over and continue this bearish downwards trend. Okay. All right. So I would have wanted this to be a diagonal, but what has it done? It's broken the low of it. There more data? Is this it? I guess so. All right. So with that said, that's a shame. So, we can't call this a wave 1 and a wave 2 because it's broken the low. So with that being said, wherever it decides to end itself, okay, say it's going to end itself right here. This is the first area you want to see it recover, V-shaped recovery, flip to support, okay? And then you want to obviously see it make a third, fourth, fifth. That would be the extreme bullish option. And then this would be the start of a wave 1 because we can't use this one back here, okay? And that is okay. Some of these, you know, haven't been around very long. So this was basically price discovery. Okay. It's never been on a bull run yet. All right. This looks complex. This can't make 5 wave moves out of this. All right. So it's got a little connector between these 2 waves. This is a bigger connector. And then we have this 3 wave move here. So it's tough to say when it's going to end itself, and it could even rally with Bitcoin and then give this leg a partner. It's going to follow Bitcoin pretty closely. More than likely, this is going to end up rolling over. And then you want to see the same thing I said. You want to see that V-shaped recovery and this area reclaimed before you would think to jump into this. Okay. It looks bad. It really does. It's a shame. But, okay, so not financial advice, okay? But if you have bags of this that you're wanting to think about, you know, selling, don't do it now. Wait for at least a rally, okay? And the area that you extremely want to get over is this one. But first would be this area here that it's bouncing on. So this is all insufficiency. 3, this is where the 4th will happen. 4, 5, pull back, give us another one. Okay. If it can't get over this area, then that's bearish. It's going to roll over again. It's really a shame that it broke this low. Okay, Pete, I think I answered your question. Yeah, it's a shame. This was a beautiful looking potential diagonal here. And maybe it intended to be one, because remember, Elliott wave is marked as human emotions, human, whatever you want to call it, the way that we think about the market, the way that we trade the market. And, you know, back in this area, people were bullish about this coin. And then they've lost, you know, just got more and more bearish. And then this looks like a little bit of panic selling here. So, but it doesn't mean that it's done for. Okay, even if it wanted to be corrective, it could put in a sideways, give this leg a partner. Okay, could do something like that. So that's a pretty big rally. But that's all it can do is 335 or 333. Or it resets itself and starts a new phase. Okay, on a bull run. How deep it's going to come, I don't know, because it's broken this low. It can go as deep as it wants now. All right. Here's another one that's broken the low. So with that said, we can't say wave 1 and wave 2 now. It has to it's resetting itself. So if it ends up going on a bull run, then this is the new start, wherever it ends here. And it doesn't look good. Let's see if we have any divergence. No. Ooh. Well, we have some weekly. This divergence needs to be held on to, because it's lost all of the lower divergences. So its last hope is this weekly, that this is coming to an end here. We don't want to see it lose that. I mean, the good news is also has a little bit of daily. Okay, straight across is divergence also. Not as powerful, but you can see every time it's come down this low, it's tried to rally. Okay. So this is the area it needs to get above. Looks like it's in a little fourth wave, gonna roll over for a fifth. Then we need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it pulls back, it needs to hold this area as support. This is your entry. Okay. If it can make 5, then what is it going to do? It's going to give us another 5. Otherwise, bear would be that it rolls over and then it just bonks its head, something like this. Then down it goes again. It's got to get above this area right here. And then ultimately, we want to take out this whole area here and get above it. And the key to that is a 5-wave move off the low. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with waiting for that. Catching the absolute low very rarely happens. And then you run the risk that that isn't the low and it rolls over on you. All right, this one looks a lot like, I think I did this one. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe it just looks the same. But it looks a lot like one I already did. But anyways, so we want to call this a wave 1 and we want to see a wave 2. This wave right here, what we don't know is if it's the start or the end of something. So, looks like it's in a 4th wave. It's going to push up for a 5th. If it's going to be bullish, we don't want it to take out this area, and we want to see it pull back and find it as support. And then if it's going to be a 1 and a 2 and it's done, then it's going to go extremely bullish. Worst case, it's going to put 5 here as a connecting wave and then give this wave a partner. Okay. You will know the difference. Difference will be if it's just going to give this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a partner, you'll get 1, 2, and you'll just get something like this, and then it'll start to correct sideways. If it's going to be a bull run, you're going to see a wave that's this big without any real stoppage. Something like that. Okay, if you get a wave that's about this big, and then it stops and starts traveling sideways, then you got a C wave. Okay. Now the bearish option is that this is the end of something and that it's attached to back here. Just like I said about the other one, if it wasn't this one, the way you'll be able to tell is it'll melt off and get underneath here like this. That will tell you that this was a C. Okay. Harsh rejection. I don't really see one that I can show you right now, but that's what it looks like. Just the way it pushes up, comes straight back down underneath. That will be your clue that this is just a connecting wave and that this one still needs its partner. Can Bitcoin be doing a 1-2-1-2 setup from the 31K top? Okay. So that was a bearish option until it put in this wave right here. Because we had the argument that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pullback, so 1, 2. And then we had this wave that could be argued that it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pullback, 1, 2. And then we had this little 5-wave move. Okay. And it was currently pulling back. Nest. Because remember, they need to be either the same size or continually getting smaller. So what did it do right here? It made a 3-wave move. Failed to produce a 4th and a 5th. And it came back up and invalidated this being 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay. So the only way now that it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2 is to say that this is 1, 2, 1. All of this was 2, but it's already invalidated itself again because it put a 3-wave move. It didn't give us separation for a 4 and 5, and it came back up into its 1. And so I'm sure that there'll be some people that'll, if this comes up again, they'll try to say 1, all of this 2. But what are the rules of 1, 2, 1, 2s? Your second 2 should be smaller than your first 2, because this is higher degree. This is lower degree. Okay? So I don't think it's a 1, 2, 1, 2 anymore. The only real bearish option I see is maybe it's making a diagonal that's not complete yet. Okay? That could be a bearish option. And diagonals are A's or wave 1s. But it would need to finish. We could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could be that this is the diagonal here. But we can't, ETH is very difficult to make one out of. So, but it's possible. But not the 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't think so. We'd have to accept that this second 2 was bigger than the first. Beta. So, same thing. Maybe Ada's going to hold 4th, 5th, and then give us that flat, okay? Maybe. That would be the bullish option. The bearish option is that this is all we're getting, which doesn't seem correct. That this is all we're going to get right here. Let me check one thing here. Yeah, it came too deep. So there's a good chance that this is going to hold and give us more of a bear market rally here. Something like this. Maybe even higher. Okay. But if it takes out $0.16 here, no longer can it be 3, 3, 5. Okay. So some of these alts look horrible. And that's its only hope right now. Because it broke this low. Is that it does this. Puts in a flat. Otherwise, then it's going to continue this back here. And it's going to, this would be the first leg connector, something like that. But we're nowhere near invalidation point. Okay. And 618 is still way down here. This can come deeper and it would be just fine as a wave 2. Wave 1. This is a beautiful impulse wave. It should get a partner. It should go. It should go back on a bull run whenever the market's ready. So pull that extension from here to here. takes out that 1.618, it doesn't have a chance. And what you're looking for right now, fourth, fifth, same thing, for this to be recovered. And then at that point, it's going to be very fast. Because if it's going to do it, this is going to be a very fast wave. The C wave of flats are extremely fast. Johnny, your cat's looking around for a dog. I know. My dogs never stop barking. Okay. Let's see what you said here. Logical trader, hopefully you're still here. On the 4-hour, there is a breakout of a triangle to move upside. I am in it, but just want to be sure. All right, well, remember Forex, it always moves correctively, okay? Whenever you get big pushes like these, they're C waves or A waves, okay? I'm pretty sure you're talking about this area right here and this push to the upside. I don't see it as a triangle, okay? But it doesn't really matter. You've got this move, which is a 5-wave move. You've got all of this connecting stuff. This move, a pullback, and then you're starting to head up, okay? So you want to give this wave a partner to the upside, all right? Now, right now, if that is going to happen, you do not want to come back into this area and breaking this little territory right there. Pretty much is going to guarantee you're coming back into this area, okay? Because you want this to be 1 and 2. All right, so if you're in this, your stop should be here at this pink line. Maybe a little down to let it get support there, right there. And it needs to keep going. And this does look like a 4th wave. I don't see it as a triangle, but it doesn't matter. Okay. And you want it to head up for a 5th. Where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I hope that helps. You want to give it a little room. You don't want to risk your stop getting hit. Put it right underneath the wave 1 because that's the invalidation. Okay? That would be the safer play, right? Like this. Miles, thank you so much. Total 3. All right. Well, that looks awful. All right. So here is Bitcoin's rally. All right, so if the bullish option is that this is 3, it's coming down for 3, and it's going to give 3 or 5 to the upside, okay? That's the bull option. Obviously, it takes out the 1.618 at 233.28. Not happening. And really, taking out 265, it gets less probable, okay, for that to happen. Otherwise, this was all just a connector, and this is about to get a partner to the downside, and this is just the first wave of it. It'll come down like this, back test, and that'll be the first wave right here. Okay. But I don't see a bullish option. I mean, like, we're going to the moon, like back here. The best option I see is that it puts a flat here and it gets big and gets its back up here. So, and again, same thing like everything I say. When this rolls over, you need it back up, reclaimed. Here is insufficient area, so it'll go like this. And then there's your first wave. Okay. This stuff is taught in the course for those of you that have taken it or have not. Okay. I hope that helped, Miles. What if that's a 5 with an extended fifth? 25.5. I'm not sure. Let's see. I am thinking that the start of 28.4 is a fifth wave, which is ended at 25.3 with an extended fifth. I think you were talking about maybe a coin I was looking at. I don't think you're talking about Bitcoin if you're still here, Amit. I don't think he was talking about Bitcoin. Sorry, the chat's kind of hard sometimes when you want to comment on something that I'm... If you're still here, let me know what coin you're talking about. All right, XRP looks good to me. Okay, this is one coin that has promise that it's going to do something. Let's go to finance. No, not that one. It's got that stupid wick. Nah, it doesn't matter. All right. So here's the bull run that we want to say wave 1, and we want to say wave 2. Then we want to say this is an expanded diagonal of a 1, and that it's currently going to pull back for a 2. And we're going to have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it's going to moon to the moon. Okay? Now, if this wave here is not expanding diagonal, then it's a B wave. Or an X, probably an X. It's an X, I'm sorry. An X wave. And that this is going to be Y. And this is W right here. Okay? And that 2 is going to be over here. If this low gets broken. Okay? Which one it's going to be, I don't know. But the only way this can be a wave 1 is that it's an expanding diagonal. Okay, that it really does look like it could definitely be an X. But if we can stay above this low at 10 cents, this could be a 1 and a 2. This is getting a little lengthy though. It's already way past the 2. So chances are this is an X wave. And this leg is getting a partner. Let's get in a little closer. And let's talk about this. This is a three-wave move, three-wave move, three-wave move. So WXY. How it can go higher is put a connector here that does not break this area right here. So it puts a connector, wave, turns this all into A or W. This becomes X or B, depending on how deep it comes. And then we either get C or Y upwards. This is how it can rally higher. It needs to stay above this, put the connector, and then go. Okay, so far, the bullish option is that this was 3, that this was 3, and that it's going to put in a higher low right here. That would be extremely bullish, if it can hold here and put the connector with a higher low and then go. Okay. Worst case, it does this. But it's got to stay above this area here and then go. Because putting a connector of an X wave or a B wave shouldn't come underneath the prior connector. Okay. It looks bullish to me. It looks like it's going to do it. It really does. Now the bear scenario, because there's always a bear scenario, that this is a diagonal and that it's a wave 1. Because even if this was an A wave and this was a B wave, this could put A, B, C and make a connector. It would have to be a 1. Starting an A wave. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A wave, B wave, C wave. Okay. All it needs to do is hold up here. All right, so I'll do this one for Alex and then Maytac. And then we're going to call it a day. All right, let's see. OR. And you said it looked to be in a golden corner, but is close to invalidation with the altcoin sell-off. It looks good. This is the wave that we want to be a 1 and pulling back for a 2. So all it has to do is not break its lows. Okay. And it's still pretty far away from that. So, but unfortunately, this wave to the upside here, it's corrective. Maybe it's a diagonal. Okay. But if it breaks this low, it invalidates this being the start of something. Okay. And it's pretty close. So more than likely, this was a 3-wave move. Okay. It may sweep these lows. The bullish option is that it's going to do this type of move, like all the other ones I've been talking about. Okay. So breaks this low. This cannot be a diagonal to start of something, but it still could be a 3-wave move. Pull back, sweep these lows, and then give us this wave to the upside to give this one a partner. And then the bearish option is that it's heading down to give this wave its partner. and it's just the first leg of it. But even if it did, it still could make this the start of something by not breaking the low, okay? Actually, what's the date of this? November 23rd? Oh, I'm sorry. So this rally is the rally that Bitcoin had, okay? That looks really good. It's got a good chance that it's not going to break the low of it and that it's going to give this move a partner. Okay, so this is the move Bitcoin had, the 5-wave move. So, with that said, we have this 3-wave move off the top. This could get a partner, probably. Something like this. Then this leg will get its partner. And if it can keep from breaking this low, it's going to give us 5 waves. This coin looks pretty good. Now, getting up underneath the 618, it's going to scream B wave. But as long as it can stay above this area right here, it will remain bullish. This coin looks a lot better than some others, for sure. All right, Maytac. Maytac looks really good, okay? Now, it's obvious that if it doesn't hold this area here, what's it going to do? It's going to fall right through. Down to here. Okay? So, it really needs to hold. Okay? We've got that 3 waves. 3 waves. We need it to hold 3 waves. Now, even if it decides that it wants to add a connector here, the higher the connector, the better, so that when all of this gets a partner, it stays up here. Because otherwise, if it doesn't, we know what's going to happen. This is going to be first leg, maybe it bounces, and then it's going to come through here like this. So whatever it does, it's got to stay up there. So right now, see how we have all this price action in the middle of 2 equal legs? That's totally a zigzag 3-wave move, okay? So right now, if this, same thing, guys, if this rolls over, okay, we want to see V-shaped recovery, back up, reclaim this area, and then give us total separation. But this is going to be a C leg, okay? Breaking this low right here is not going to be good. So if it plays around, rolls over, bounces here, then it's going to break. Really, after this next rollover, it needs to go. Otherwise, it's going to run the risk of breaking this area here. It's got a good chance of doing it. Doesn't really have any divergence to speak of. So what do we need to see it do? We need to see if it rolls over this. That's what we need. If this is bullish, it doesn't, it's corrective. So may climb a little higher, but it's corrective, unfortunately. So we will get a rollover. I don't see how this could be the start of something. We can't make it a diagonal, but this here looks like it could be that it's going to try to give one more up and then roll over. But we want to see that reversal divergence, okay? Right, on this 8-hour time frame. And then V-shape recovery, reclaim this, and then go. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in and sticking with me. And I will see you next Tuesday. Anyone that's still here and that emails me will get a discount on Discord and the course. My email should be in the link below, and I'll type it here also. 50% discount, okay? System. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. And thank you for sticking it out with me. I'll see you next time.